Hey, everybody.
Hey.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Melissa.
And we are #PastorBesties. And today we are talking about discouragement.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, we all feel it in ministry.
Absolutely.
We all feel it in our lives, period.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're talking about today, so stay tuned.
So, discouragement. This is a question or a topic that we were asked to cover. I think it's been a while ago that we were asked. It's been asked in several different ways, shapes, and forms. Because discouragement is something we all deal with.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you deal with being discouraged, especially in ministry, whether you're clergy or not? I think part of the way that the question was asked to us at one point was, how do you deal with discouragement in ministry? What if the pastor or a lay person feels more excited about God or about a particular ministry that's happening than the others around them?
This happens all the time because we all have different ideas about what the church should do, what ministries we should take part in. And, you may get an idea, you may feel like it's an idea from God and you're so excited about it and you just can't get any traction on it because nobody else is feeling that excitement.
Right.
So I guess there's a couple of ways to go about that. One is to pitch the long-term vision of it and to know that it's going to take some time to get people excited about it. In my ministry, at my last appointment, I started doing that around clean water issues, and over time, the congregation got really excited about it. We ended up forming a group of young adults that were going to go and go to Liberia and teach about clean water, so there was a lot of momentum around it. When I shifted appointments and was taking all that excitement with me, they
haven't been on the journey with
They haven't been on the journey, so they weren't I had to start over. And we've been able to kind of build a little bit of momentum around it. Yeah. But it takes time, and it can be discouraging. Absolutely. If you don't step back and be oh yeah, these people haven't been on the journey. Because when you're excited, you're well, why isn't everybody thinking this is amazing? It is, obviously.
I think that there are definitely those times when you have to cast the vision, or you have to know that it's a long process. There's a long end game to it. Right. And then there's those times when sometimes you just have to take a risk and just do it. And it may mean, so I think for us here, we have cooking and art classes on Wednesday evenings for children preschool to 5th grade.
Which is amazing.
It's great. We have anywhere from 20 to 60 kids who are a part of it, depending on the program, depending on the night. It's a great program. We just sort of started it. And it was something that I was excited about. And we'd been talking about trying to do something with children. I didn't sort of wait for the vision to get cast. We just scheduled classes and then asked for help. Help has come. And so it's been great. But it wasn't anything that it was what do you think? Should we do this or should we not? It was just kind of guess what we're doing.
Yeah. So here's the question. Knowing now what you know, would you have done it different, or would you have done it the same way?
I don't think I would have done it different. Yeah. I think there are times that casting the long vision is really important. And then there are times that that casting of a vision or that working is just procrastination.
That's so true.
Sometimes, not always. Yeah. There is good in being prudent and thinking through things, and then there's times when it's you've been thinking through things for 27 years.
I feel so convicted about that at my current appointment because I'm the kind of person that has an idea and I will pitch it here and then I'll pitch it there and just see how it goes. And our senior leader, who is he's really gifted at visioning, he's okay, let's do it. And I'm oh, but no, I'm not ready. And he's no, you are, just do it. And I'm wait, what? No, I still need time to we should plan and make sure we got. He's no, we're doing it. And so part of that is good because it does get you off your booty and get you working. Sometimes it makes me super nervous and I feel I'm not ever ready, but sometimes I would never do it because I just think I'm not qualified or I don't have all my ducks in a row.
Sure.
So he gives that push that I need to get stuff done.
Sometimes I just never feel like I have my ducks in a row. I just have them all in the same pond, and I know we're fine.
general area. They're
we're all
swimming
in the same
about.
area. We're swimming together, and so I think that probably for me, that's part of why it feels like just jump, because it's never going to be together.
Right.
And sometimes that bites you.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
like, in both directions. Like, you can wait too long and realize, oh, now it's gone.
Right.
We want to do something around Haiti recovery because of the hurricane, and we planned for 2 years, and that was 2 years ago. Sadly, no one cares anymore,
Right.
Not okay. And yet the energy and the passion around something has gone.
Yeah.
Or you do something and realize, nah, a hot mess. I mean, that was we shouldn't have done that.
It's hard because you don't want to be the pastor who cried wolf, right? And got them excited about something, and they were like, never mind, we're not doing it.
Yeah.
Or, no, we're going to do this. No, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
And then, like, nothing ever comes to be. So you don't want to be that pastor that's, like, throwing things out and it never gets done because nobody's ever taking it and running with it.
Right.
But you also don't want to be the pastor that is too gun-shy and won't do anything.
Sure. I think that it's also creating a culture within the congregation, too. So the culture within our congregation has become that we try stuff, we throw it to the wall, see what sticks, and if it sticks, we keep it. If it doesn't, we move on.
That's great.
That is not easy
That's a
to
gift.
create.
That's a gift.
I have tried to create it in other places, and it's not always ripe and ready for it. So you plant the seeds and see how it goes. Here, they were ready. Mm-hmm. And so that's become our mantra with a lot of things. And so that's why I think also failure is okay. I know. You don't like it.
I can't.
I know.
Okay. I'm a perfectionist. Mm-hmm. I really cannot talk about failure. I hate it.
I know.
But I need to hear it.
I know.
Yeah.
I know you know. I know.
I know you know that I know that you know that I know.
We know. We all know. I think that it's hard. I mean, in the middle, in the muck of everything, like in the muck of failure, I'm not like, this is awesome.
Right.
This is going to be amazing when we get out of it. I'm like, I'm discouraged.
Failing's the best.
Yeah, I'm discouraged. Like, why the heck can't this happen? What am I doing wrong? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with them? What's like in the middle of it? There's all of that. I think it's when you're able to take sort of that bird's eye view and figure out how to take a step back and go, okay, is this about me or is it not?
Right.
Sometimes it is about you, that you should have planned better. You should have thought through some things. Sometimes, not always.
Right. Sometimes it's just not the right combination of things.
Right.
But then it's like, how can you teach your congregation that it's okay to fail and how to fail with grace and forgiveness and then resurrection, right? So that's something that we have to be intentional about teaching to say and to be vulnerable in that, to say, we failed.
Right.
And here's why. And... Or, maybe we don't know why, but we failed, and here are the steps that we're going to take to reclaim that failure. Yeah. We're going to learn from it.
Right. I don't think that anything is truly a failure unless you didn't learn something from it. Then it really is a failure. I think that you make mistakes. There are things that don't go well. And sometimes the learning is, that's not what we do. So at one church, we had a fundraiser that flopped hard. We lost a lot of money. And we took a step back and went, we're not good at fundraising. Not just because of this event. That's not what we do well. What we do well is writing curriculum and planning programming. Maybe we should do that instead of this. And why did we feel like we needed to do this? Because we don't need to fundraise. We have a full budget. And so it was taking that step back to go, okay, the lesson learned is we don't do this. That's not what we do.
And what a huge way to help your congregation and you as a pastor not feel discouraged time and time again, because I think there are things that we try to do because we think that's what the other church in town's doing it, or my friend's church is doing it, or so we should be doing it too. But we really have to be rooted in who we are as a congregation. We have to know our identity, and that doesn't mean we can't work to change that identity if it's not what God wants for us. Like if you're an inward focused church, God doesn't want that. So we need to change that identity. But we also need to know we can't do all the things.
No.
We can't.
No.
You're going to have kind of your areas that you're an expert in, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Yeah.
Do the things that you do and do them well.
Right.
And that will, so much discouragement can be avoided in that.
Yes and no. I mean, I think it's still discouraging when things don't go, even when you know this is who we are. I mean...
Oh, sure. No. I'm not saying, like, you won't have any discouragement. I'm just saying, like, if you keep trying the fundraiser and it doesn't work time and time again, that just is like a snowball of discouragement.
Absolutely.
So why even tackle it?
Just go.
That's not you, and that's okay.
You do you.
You do you. Church, you do you.
It's fine. I think that is like in the middle. Discouragement is going to happen.
Yes.
Failure is going to happen.
Yes.
I know. You're going to feel defeated at times.
Yeah.
Ministry is hard. It is. I mean, life is hard. It is.
Yes.
And I think that we need to acknowledge that sometimes, because I think. I don't know about you, but I find sometimes when clergy get together, we don't always talk about the bad stuff.
Oh, because we want to impress each other?
Right. We feel like we want to impress each other. We don't want people to know what life is really like. Mm-hmm. And I think that sucks. I think it's stupid. I think we need to stop it. Bossy pants on.
Okay.
Stop. Don't do that. Don't be dumb.
Well, you have to be vulnerable. It all goes back
hard.
to vulnerability. It's hard to be vulnerable.
It's hard.
But if you can share out of your place of brokenness and failure, and somebody else can resonate with that and be like,
Me
oh
too.
my gosh, I thought I was just not made to be a pastor, but really that's just like, oh, all pastors do that? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's also really easy. I think that this is more so with a trusted group of friends. It's also easy to blame another person. So it's that the reason that ministry failed was because the congregation refused to support it. Sometimes. And sometimes it takes a friend, a good trusted friend, to say, is that really the reason?
Yeah.
And maybe it is.
But maybe
but
it's
why?
not.
And I think that why question, if you can have good, trusted friends who can push you to answer why, and try and really figure out that why without your own assumptions. Why? Why do you think that? So I think that in the discouragement, it's having trusted people to walk with you in it.
Yeah, I can't imagine my life if I didn't have other people that I could talk to about the discouragements in ministry. Because I think sometimes as pastors, we feel like we have to have the happy face on all the time with our parishioners. Like, how are you? Oh, I'm great. Things are good. We're busy. That's fantastic. And, you know, you need to have the place where you can be like, I'm failing. I'm failing as a pastor. I'm failing my congregation. This went wrong and this went wrong. And to be able to have your friends say, yeah, and it's okay.
Right.
Because we all go through that.
Right. I need a freak out moment sometimes too in those moments of discouragement.
Sure.
I am a drama queen anyway.
Wait, what?
I know, right? Not a surprise to anybody. But so sometimes I do need that moment with a trusted friend to be like, I hate everything about everything, and I feel like I'm failing everything at everything. And then once I sort of just word vomit all of that out, then I'm like, okay, it's out. Yeah. Done. And sometimes it's my worst fear came out with that. Like, I'm failing at everything. Oh, yeah, that does suck. And now that it's out there, let's deal with it.
Yeah. I think the key about discouragement is knowing that it's going to happen, and then knowing that you have to have systems in place to deal with it, to address it, to embrace it, and like you said, to learn from it. Because if you don't learn from it, then then that's a loss.
Well, and I also think that part of dealing with discouragement is also taking care of your own soul.
Oh my gosh! Yes, in the middle of
the discouragement and the pain and the heartbreak and the failure and whatever, how are you caring for yourself? Do you need to take a week off? Do you need to figure out vacation? Do you need to not preach this week, next week? I mean, what do you need for your own soul at the same time?
Right.
Now, I'm not saying it's also, I mean, it may not be helpful to say, I'm going to take the next 6 weeks off.
But it might be.
Perhaps that's what's needed. And so talking with your district superintendent, if you're United Methodist, of your supervising bodies to work through that.
Yeah.
Sometimes what is needed is something big and drastic. I mean, there was a time that for me, dealing with discouragement in an appointment setting was I needed to ask for a new appointment.
Yeah.
And heal from that time. And in that time of healing, realize it wasn't just them. It wasn't just me. It was there was a lot happening. But I needed that time and that space away.
Yeah.
So I think there's times when you do have to talk to a supervisor and know that they love you and they're there to support you.
I think that if you don't have your own life rooted in self-care, which we clergy do not do well.
We're working on it.
If you don't have your own life rooted in self-care, when discouragement comes, it's so easy for you to wither.
Yeah.
So it's important to have community around you. It's important to have time off. All of those things help us take those knockdowns that happen in life and be able to get back up,
right.
to have the energy to get back up and
right.
to try it again,
right?
Because they're going to come.
Yeah. It's a point of life. It's a point of ministry.
And if you see somebody who you feel like isn't discouraged in ministry, they're just hiding it from you.
Ouch.
It's true, though.
It is kind of true.
Everybody has those. If I feel like Melissa's killing it in ministry, which she is, but if I feel like she never has times when she fails or times when she hates life, if I feel like that's not her, then that's because she's not telling me that and she's keeping it a secret. Because we all have that. Everybody. So if you feel like you're alone in being discouraged, you're not.
Nope. And if you want to have someone to commiserate with,
we're here. That's what we do.
Yeah. Life is hard. Ministry is hard. And it's even harder when you do it by yourself.
Absolutely.
So in the middle of the discouragements, in the middle of the failures, in the middle of the pain, there is also hope. And if you can't find hope for yourself, know that there are others who can hold on to it for you until you can find it for yourself.
Go be encouraged. And if you are feeling discouraged, know that you're not alone.
No.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.